Yes, welcome back. Doesn't actually feel like we've been gone that long. But yes. How are we all doing? We are here. We're doing a stream about Gundogan. Because there is some Gundo talk today.
There is indeed some Gundo talk. There's been some Gundo talk now. Obviously, it's been building for a while, and we've had quite a bit of information come out tonight, actually. So we're going to go through that. Before we get started, as always, make sure you guys drop a like on the stream. We're currently on 55 likes. Let's get those likes past 100. Hit that thumbs up button. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel as well if you are new. If you want to help support the channel, you can become a YouTube channel member, link in the description, just like John Burgess did a little while ago. So I appreciate that, John. Thank you very much for the support. And of course, big up to the guys at Manscaped. You can get 20% off your order and free international shipping with code Xtra20 XTRA20 at manscaped.com. HSK with a $100 donation.
Yes.
Before we even started,
12 minutes past. Man was 3 minutes early.
Before we even started, said, I love Gundogan, but I love the players. I love more the players who want to stay and fight for the club. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at as well with this as well. I kind of agree. I'm at this point now where going into next season, I just want players to be here who want to be here.
The thing is, I can understand Gundo, his position that he's in right now. I can understand they might just want a change, one last change before, do you know what I mean, he hangs up his boots kind of thing. And this might be it. He might be thinking this is his chance where he can get a decent move out of it. Do you know what I mean? Like, and he'd leave on a free transfer, so he could pretty much go wherever. I obviously we know there's rumours about Barcelona being interested. As sad as it is, now's the perfect time for him if he wants to switch it up. It's now the perfect time. But having said that, this is our captain that we're talking about. Like this is captain of a football club, and it is a bit sad that he still is unsure. Especially when he's the captain, isn't it? Like,
I know. It's a bit of a shame, but let's get into some of the stuff that's been going on today, man. And of course, big up HSK for the $100 donor, bro. Big support there, man. So it all started this morning. Fabrizio Romano said this. He said Ilkay Gundogan has still not made a decision on his Manchester City future. He said it's true that Barcelona appreciate Ilkay Gundogan, but there are also other clubs calling to understand the conditions of a potential free agent deal for the Manchester City captain. And that's obviously clubs are basically asking Ilkay Gundogan if he fancies joining them. It's not just Barcelona. And then that was from Fabrizio Romano. And then a little bit later on, Peter O'Rourke said this. He said Manchester City could explore the possibility of re-signing Romeo Lavia from Southampton this summer, especially if Ilkay Gundogan chooses to leave the football club. And then a couple of hours ago, Javi Miguel said Barcelona are very attentive to Man City's Laporte, Ilkay Gundogan and Bernardo Silva. So quite interesting now on one day within 6 hours, 3 separate sources all talking about possibly Gundogan leaving Manchester City. It's very interesting.
Yeah, it's all it feels like. The thing is, there's no definitive answer, and that's because, like Fabrizio said, Gundo doesn't have a definitive answer in himself. Like all these things are just clubs being attentive of the situation.
Yeah,
basically just like circling around Gundo, so that they go like Barca going, oh, like does he want to leave? And if he does want to leave, here's a home for you. Like that's the way that I feel it is. Now, obviously, time's running out for Gundo to actually decide. It'd be nice to get this resolved sooner rather than later. But at the same time, having said that, it's also a good thing to just keep it separate from the season that we're currently in, especially with him being captain. You don't really want him coming out and start speaking about loads of different shit. It might just be better if he just kind of swerves until the end of the year.
It might be. I've got a sneaking suspicion that he wants a contract longer than what Manchester City are prepared to offer him. That's what I think's happening.
Yeah, that makes sense because from what we heard, there is a contract on the table for Gundogan. So there's clearly something that he doesn't like in that contract, and I can't think it'd be wage related. The only thing I could think is, like you say, is probably how long that contract is. City might just they might have just said, right, we'll give you another year, and City have got the option to extend that for a further year, or they might just be like, here's another year, and Gundogan's like, no, I want a 3-year deal at least. Now, obviously, we don't know the situation. We're just speculating, but it's that's one that is one avenue that it could be going down, definitely.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's something to do with it, because the thing is as well, obviously, he's having a kid or just had a kid with his wife, and he probably wants to settle down. So he probably wants a little bit longer of a contract, in my view, to stay settled. So I think it's contract related. I think it's length related specifically. And maybe City are not prepared to give him the contract. Whether City are offering him a 1 year and he wants a 2 year, whether City are offering him a 2 year, he wants a 3 year, not sure. But I have a suspicion that that's probably what it's about, and therefore is undecided on what he wants to do. Does he go for the longer contract with a different team, or does he stay for a shorter period of time with City? But obviously, you remain in Manchester, you remain at City, you don't have to move your whole life.
Yeah, Russ Beard makes a good point here. Yes, Russ Beard, bro. He says he could just want more game time, and City, obviously, with us being linked to more midfielders, might not be able to offer him the game time that he wants. So he might be, like Russ Beard says, questioning his place in the squad. He might be like, you know what, I'm going to see less football next year, whereas if I move somewhere else where less competition or somewhere where he feels like he will get more game time, and that's another way of looking at it.
It certainly could be that option as well. Yeah, I mean, I guess there are a couple of different things that it could be, but yeah, it's very interesting. Big up Joseph J, member for 3, says yes lads, not Gundogan related, but would you take Max Kilman as a Laporte replacement? He's a left footer, moves the ball well, and English, very nice. Fire emoji.
I feel like I've heard of this person, but I don't know who he plays for.
Wolves.
Oh, is that who he plays for? I've definitely heard of the guy. I feel like I've never seen him play football. I have, obviously. He plays football.
No, he's a good player. He's a decent player. I just think City have got their eyes set on Gvardiol. I think City will Gvardiol.
Yeah, I think City want to go big on a centre back. I think Gvardiol is that target.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, maybe if Akanji was to leave and we needed to bring in another sort of fourth choice, maybe it could be something that they look at. But yeah, I honestly, Joseph, I think they're looking at Gvardiol, in my honest opinion, bro. And roll up with the 2. Says Barca want all our players. They give us De Jong. Well, I mean, this is sort of a conversation that we had yesterday or the day before about the fact that if Barcelona want to sign players accordingly, they have to get rid of 170. They need 175 million pounds worth of sales. So
yeah,
it's all well and good saying, Barcelona might want Ilkay Gundogan, but from what we're hearing, they're not able to sign players.
Yeah, it's all right. It's all good them saying, yeah, we'll go get Gundogan on a free transfer until they can't register him. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean? Like they're pretty much at this point blocked from making moves in the January transfer because they need to shift that amount of money or get that money back into the club. Now, if Frankie de Jong is you know what I mean, if they are willing to part ways, even though Laporte or whatever he's called, he apparently wants Frankie de Jong to stay now, but apparently he's still on mega wages. That'd free up, do you know what I mean, quite a bit of cash for them. Mm-hmm. But the only issue is we're talking swap deals, and it puts them in no more position to get that money back over the wage bill.
Yeah, no, for sure. And yeah, they're still being reported in Spain that they still need to be able to sell 178 million pounds worth of players.
I mean, do they have them? Like, do they have that asset? Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, they do.
I mean, Pedri. But I mean, like, without crippling like the chances, because bro, they've pulled all these levers to get into the position where they've got these players, and then to be told, 175 million, it needs to be recouped. Then they can't just keep going, like they can't just go then and sell all these sick players. Like,
I know, but that's what if that's where they're at.
Because if that happens, then they're in the mud. They're doubly in the mud because they've got themselves in all this debt by signing off all the percentages of income or whatever it was. They're pulling all these levers, and then the team's still in the bin. Mm-hmm. So it stinks of like do you remember when they did that dodgy deal with Pjanic and Arta to fix the bill. Someone's going to come bid 175 million for like Sergio Roberto, whatever his kind of character his name.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the squad and see like potential cash, they've got Ter Stegen, 30 years old, 2 years left on his contract, so he's probably not worth more than 30 million. Araujo, the defender, I like him.
He's good.
50, 60.
Yeah.
Christensen, 40 max. Marcos Alonso, he must be getting on now. No more than 20. Alba, he was about 33 again.
No 20 max. Yeah.
Kunde, all right, decent.
Kunde,
50,
you
60,
could, Kunde you could probably
maybe
get a bit of cash for.
Eric Garcia, 30 max.
Max 30.
Sergio Busquets, he must be 33. He's not worth much nowadays.
You just signed him for your cream also.
You've got your Gavi and Pedri, and that's where your money is.
They're big money, them.
And your Frenkie de Jong, that's where your cash is. There ain't much money in Sergio Roberto. There's probably a little bit of money in Frank Kessie. Again, maybe 30,
Frank
40
Kessie's
million.
decent. Yeah.
But the money is in Frenkie de Jong, Pedri, and Gavi. Like,
I mean, to be fair, I think they could probably pull a little bit of money for Rafinha. Who's there? Ferran Torres, I reckon he could probably go for not too much, like 40. Lewandowski ain't gonna go for much, even though he's a baller.
He's not gonna go for much, is he?
He's not gonna go for much. Who Ansu Fati, Baldy, he's good in it. He's how he says his name, Baldy. All right, Baldy. Yeah, Fatty and Baldy. Ousmane Dembele as well, but isn't he on like a weird contract here?
He hasn't got 1 year left in his deal, so basically there's not much money there. Without
that's the issue. Without absolutely crippling your football club and getting rid of loads of players, or you either get rid of loads of players or get rid of high assets like Pedri, Gavi, or you accept that you're banned in the transfer market.
Correct. Yeah, exactly. So it's certainly an interesting situation with Barcelona, and I mean, everything suggests that they don't have the money to be able to even contemplate getting some of our players. But whether allowed to get free agents, obviously Ilkay Gundogan will be a free agent. Whether they can do swap deals, maybe that's what they have to do. But very, very strange. Let's have a look at some of these super chats that are coming in then, guys. And we've got Professional Unit with a 5 says, just here to remind you that a record amount of 7-Ups has been sold at Old Trafford.
Oh, you know what?
Yeah, so funny seeing everyone drinking 7-Up on streams, man. It's very, very funny.
He did it today. He did it yesterday as well, funny.
I've seen DR Sports as well yesterday morning when they did like the roundup, and they did it as well.
Did they? That was funny. Yeah.
JV says replace Gundogan with McAllister. Well, there's been some links today linking Manchester City with McAllister, but I just don't ever see this happening. Not in a month.
I don't see it happening.
Just don't see it happening.
I think it'll be big cash as well.
I think it'll be 100 million.
It's just major cash. It's like Brighton just hold people ransom, man, because they know that they've got sick players, and they know that people will pay the money, so they just hold out. Just go, well, we don't want to sell him, so you pay up.
They got 60 million quid for a guy who played 1 year in the Premier League and is a left back. They wanted over 70 million for Caicedo, who's played 6 months in the Premier League. What do you think they're going to want for McAllister, who has just won the World Cup playing for Argentina, actually playing as well? They're going to want 100 million, in my view. Yeah. I'm not saying I'm going to pay 100 million for McAllister, so it's not going to happen.
Not a chance. Sir Alan with an 8 says City should go for Gavi. He would be the one to sign. I love Gavi. I think Gavi and Pedri are both incredible. It'd be sick if we could go for one of them, but like I say, the likeliness of it is a bit weird. I just don't see it happening. I feel like they're stuck it. They're gonna be at Barca. I'd be gassed if we could sign one of them. Anthony, yes, Anthony with the $10. Yes, Anthony, mate. He says, now we're in the summer transfer window, which we aren't yet, but we're close. We need to buy 10 players. We need to spend $1 million. He says he doesn't care how much it costs. We can spend. We need the money. Yeah, we ain't spending it. We ain't spending $1 billion. We'd get absolutely put in the bin. He's spending $1 billion.
I think, honestly, one centre back, one full back,
Centre back, full back, two midfielders,
potentially
and a winger. Yeah. If you got cash to spare, you look at like 5 players, isn't it?
5, maybe more if other players decide that they want to get off that we don't know that want to get off. Maybe want to get off. But yeah, I think 5, 4 definitely, 5 maybe, more than 5 if other players decide that it's they want to go as well. So that's what I think. But in terms of cash, you're probably looking at 40 million for a left back. You're probably looking at close to 100 million if you're going to get Gvardiol. That's 140. If you're going to go for a Bellingham, that's another. You might as well double that. You're almost.
You're looking around £300 million.
300 million, 350 is what you're probably looking at.
Yeah.
But we've got a lot of academy players that we can sell in it, so
that's true, isn't it? And we're in the profits from last year, bro. And the profits from last year, innit? So
we've made 2 consecutive seasons of profits with our transfers.
That's it. It's the CFG, innit?
I mean, I'm not going to start this Glazer thing with Shape Man So. Put money into the football club. Just taking money out. Innit? Last two seasons.
Where's our profits going?
We've made money on transfers. We've not spent more than we were in transfer income. So I might start the sort of Glazer thing with Shape Man So and be like, why does he need to put his hand in his pocket?
That's funny that.
He's not spent £1 billion for a couple of years. What's going on?
Dugan with a 5. Yes, Dugan. He says, how you feel about being 8 points behind after the international break?
With the game in hand.
Yeah.
Not great.
Yeah, it isn't great, is it?
However,
points on the board are nice, but at least with the game in hand.
That's also assuming that Arsenal don't drop points because they're playing on Thursday night and then they're playing on Sunday. So they've only got 2 days rest and they're away from home in both of them games. And City play before Arsenal on Sunday. We play on Saturday, so we hopefully will get the win and put the pressure on Fulham, put the pressure on Arsenal. And Arsenal go away to Fulham with 2 days rest after a European away day. So that's not going to be easy. And then obviously they've got it's the same again next weekend with they play again at home against Sporting Lisbon. And then they got that on the Thursday, and then they play home again on the Sunday. A bit better being at home, but not easy that. And again, City played before them, so hopefully we'll be closing the gap to.
There's a long way to go.
There is a long way to go. Although that's that. In fact, we don't play before them because that's the FA Cup weekend. So we've got one game now. This weekend.
To put a bit of pressure on.
Try and put a bit of pressure on and force the mistake this weekend. And then obviously next weekend.
Then they have the option to go back to that and back to 8 points.
This weekend, I think, is a massive weekend because there's a serious chance Arsenal could drop points this weekend. Having played on 30 goals, they fly to Portugal. They play a Europa League game on Thursday, and then they play at 2:00 on Sunday. So they've got Friday and Saturday to prepare for that. And they're playing Fulham. Fulham are a good team. Away at Craven Cottage, it's a small pitch, and Fulham obviously played on yesterday. Fulham will have a whole week off now. Fulham will go for that. That could be an interest. And obviously City play on Saturday, so if City can get the win against Palace, we can close the gap to 2 points. Arsenal going into a game with 2 days rest away from home. I mean, they are going to drop points, and that's a good one to sort of predict that it might be that weekend. But you never know, innit?
Stralin again with an 8 says I'm on the Mancunian waiting an hour on transfers. Yes, Stralin, mate. He says Martin better have had a shave, and he said Lewis get a shave.
I actually do need a shave, to be fair. Haircut soon come.
TT with a 2. Says if Gundo performs till the end of the season, I think keep him as a backup and spend big on 1 mid instead of 2. Then KDB, Gundo, Peroni, and Jude. That's all well in saying it, but Gundo might not want to stay. That's hence why he's undecided right now. Like he might not want to stay and become backup. He might. That just might not be a thing that interests him. So it sounds good on paper, but if he don't want to be here, then he'll go. Yeah.
No, I agree.
It's pretty mad. I feel like Gundo's career at City's gone rapid.
Yeah, it has. I mean, he was the first Pep Guardiola signing, if you remember, and
signed him injured.
Yeah, correct. £26 million. And
then he got injured against Barca.
Value for money. I mean, he's right up there. He's right up there with the best,
been incredible.
Best signings. Yeah,
he's been incredible.
Done so much, obviously. Won us the league last season against Aston Villa. Played in the 6 in the Centurions position.
Yeah.
The Centurions season.
Fernandinho
Mr.
got
Whippy.
injured, yeah. Mr. Whippy season.
So he's done so much for us, and he's such good value for money. And it will be sad to see him go if he does decide to leave. But all good things must come to an end, Brie.
That's it. That was probably depressing, that, isn't it? What a depressing way to like round up this stream. Pressure to 5 says big up LB for being on Sky News. You love to see it. Yes.
You do love to see it.
Sky Sports official. That's you know, innit? LB's gonna be the Jim White, innit? During the
Jim White
on transfer deadline day. Get your yellow tie out.
Yeah, big up professional in it, man. Yeah, right, cool. We're going to go because we're going to go and get the stream ready now for the Chelsea versus Borussia Dortmund watch along. There's an automatic redirect on the stream, guys, so don't go anywhere. I'll automatically redirect you to the watch along. It's a huge game. Chelsea are currently 1-0 down, and we're going to be watching that. I know, big up roll up there for the 2. It says, has Ake earned the chance to be our permanent left back?
Yes, in the sense of his only chance to be in our team. Left back more, centre back, because it'd be 3 at the back, I think. Stinks. I feel it stinks because the issue with Ake, is he's been incredible this year. We've said it multiple times now that if Erling Haaland weren't there, he'd be our player of the season. 100%. He's been incredible. Without Ake, we'd get binned, But the issue is, if we go get a Gvardiol, Ake's back to the bench.
Yeah, especially if we're playing this 3 at the back. Yeah. Correct.
But then really, because then you could have Ake, because then Stones would be in the team, wouldn't it? It'd be Stones, Diaz, and Gvardiol, wouldn't it? Mm-hmm. Oh, I don't know, innit? It's grim. I love Ake though. It's sick. It's
difficult with Ake. Yeah, he's a sick player though. And PI again with the 2 says Mr. Whippy was better under Pep than he was for Klopp.
I forget about that.
I'll probably go for that because he's done more stuff at City than he did at Dortmund. He's won more trophies. So you'd probably say he's had better. But he did play. He was mint at Dortmund as well. But yeah, he's obviously done a lot more since he's been at Manchester City than Dortmund, as expected, of course. Right, don't go anywhere, guys. We're going to redirect you now to the live watch along. Bid up to Manscaped. We'll leave you with the ad. Make sure you spam loads of fruit and vegetables in the chat, whatever you want. And see you in a few moments for the Chelsea versus Dortmund watch along. Let's have it.